Alright, so good afternoon, welcome to this lovely Wednesday. For those who don't know me, my name is Winston Kutsia. I am a day trader. Alright, so today is of course Wednesday. I'm just going to show you guys how I do my trading and what I do. Now, if you're like me that you still have got a job or you don't want to sit in front of a computer the whole day, then the way I trade is going to benefit you. Please remember to read the disclaimer. I'm not here to take responsibility for your trades. If you find value in what I do, 100% fine. Now, I'm going to jump to the charts and show you what I do. Okay, so the first thing I do when I want to do my trading is I go and look for the news. I go and see what's happening on a global scale, because what happens in a global scale is what moves your trading, is what makes movement in the market. Alright, so what I can see is here we've got a prelim GDP quarter on quarter. So for the USD, that should be quite high news coming out. So the forecast, I just want to go here to the forecast, is the same. It's no change, but we'll see how it happens. Let's scroll down and see any other big news. I like to trade the euro. Reason why I like to trade the euro is because I do swing trading, so I work on the 8-hour and the day time frame. So sometimes I put trades in that is in for 2 weeks. So my broker give me positive swaps on the euro when I trade the euro. So that's why I trade the euro. If your broker gives you positive swaps on the US or on the pound or anything, you need to understand that when you want to trade, because I trade with small lots, I don't trade with big lots, and I'm going to give you the reason now why I say that, or why I trade the way I do. Now, I trade the euro USD, and my trades stay in sometimes for 2 weeks, and I get positive swaps on it. That's why I like to trade the euro, because my broker gives me positive swaps. You don't want to trade and have a trade in for 2 weeks and you don't get positive swaps on it, and your commission costs you more than your trading actually does, because you're working on small lots. So I try and save money and make money where I can. That's why I trade the euro. So let's go through this. There's a prelim CPI for the euro month to month. That should also make it move. It's all day. The Canadian dollar, I like to have an eye on the Canadian dollar as well, because it also tends to spike the market every now and then. Now, okay, so for the euro, this is now on Thursday, the 29th of Feb. The core PCE price index month on month, this is absolutely going to move markets, and the unemployment claims are going to move the markets. You have to remember, basically the whole market is tied to what the US dollar does, because the US dollar is the standard worldwide currency. So if the US dollar moves, the rest of the market reacts to it. I'm talking about stocks, indices, forex. It doesn't matter what you are trading. You have to keep an eye on what the USD is doing. So I go through and I just keep a mental mind that, okay, we're going to see some movement. Now, because I'm trading on the 8-hour and the day time frame, I don't tend to get a lot of spikes. I'm not too worried about exiting my trades whenever news are breaking, because if you look at it from a daily time frame, the movement is not that much. But if you're working on the 1 minute, 5 minute and 15-minute time frame, the spikes can be heavy, big. It looks like it's spiking out of your charts. So I keep an eye on it, because I want to see where the markets are going to move, because I trade on the bigger time frames. Alright, so I see on Friday, there's also another USD. It's a PMI, the manufacturing PMI. That's going to make everything move. Customer sentiment, that's also going to make the markets move. So there is a couple of things to look forward to that will make the markets move. You don't want to be in a trade, especially for a week or two, and there's hardly any movement in the market, because it's just not feasible. Alright, so let's go through. We've got the yen, because I've got a euro yen trade that I'm also in at the moment. I've got an ISM. Yeah, okay. The non-farm, there's quite a big one, non-farm. Okay, Bank of Canada rate statement, overnight rates, Fed Chair Powell will be speaking, and then JOLTS. jolts, that's going to absolutely make the market moves. Because from the Fed chair, Powell, when he speaks, you can basically sort of figure out what's going to happen to the rates, or what's going to happen to the markets. That's why that's so very important. Okay, we've got a Bank of Canada press conference. So we do see a lot of things happening, but I'm not too concerned with next week yet. Let's just see for today and for tomorrow. Today we've got just the prelim GDP, and tomorrow we've got the German prelim. So it's not a very big movement on the markets. I like to keep an eye on the dollar, on the index, the US index, dollar index. So the DXY. Basically, I like to keep an eye on that, because then I can also, from a chart standpoint of view, basically see where the dollar is going to go. So if the dollar, if I see on the DXY, the dollar on a chart wise, on the chart, looks like it's going to go up or down because it's at a level of support or a level of resistance, then I basically know where my other trades are going to go. Because if the dollar goes up, everything else will go down. So if I've got a Euro USD in, then I know my Euro I must look for a sell opportunity. If I see dollars on a downtrend, then I must look for buying opportunities on my Euro USD. So as you can see, we're on an uptrend with the dollar. The dollar has been growing. Now this is on a daily time frame. So you can see that the dollar is moving upwards. It broke through this level of resistance here, and it found support here. So basically this will now turn This will now turn from resistance to support. So basically we have found support here, and I have got an idea that we might even see this move towards the highs over there. So let me just move this one. So if we look at it, we might see the DXY move to the upside to go and find, because remember there's a lot of liquidity here as well. So it will go and find some liquidity over there. Also, all depending on the news. I know next week there's some big news also coming out for the USD. All right, so that's basically what I do on my charts, the trading view charts. I do keep an eye on the dollar index. All right, so now let's go to my NT5. Now this is a demo account that I'm going to use to display stuff on. I used to display my main account on there, but something happened to it, so I don't know if there's clever people. I don't know how to hide shit, so I'm just going to keep this on the demo account. But what's happening on the demo account is happening on my real account as well. So I did put a trade on the Euro USD. The reason why I say I put a trade in here on the Euro USD is because I got a mentality that the dollar is going to go up. So I'm looking for sell opportunities. If you look at this downtrend from the Euro USD, and you look at this, let me show you here, up with a USD, with the dollar index. So you know the dollar is going stronger, then automatically you must know that the euro, anything against the dollar, is going to go down. Now the dollar is at a level of support, and it found support there, so it's going to go up. If I look at the euro quickly, I just want to go there. If I look at the euro was at a level of resistance, so it's going to go down. So I did put a trade in there, a sell opportunity, and that is where I will put my take profit over there. And my stop loss is way up there, because I know there's some news coming, so it might spike a little bit to the upside. You don't want to trade. That's why I trade with small lot sizes, so I can make room for these little spikes to the upside. And so you don't want to have your stop loss right up against there, just for it to take your stop loss and go in your direction. You need to, when you're trading and you're going to this mentality, the reason I told you earlier why I trade on smaller lot sizes is for this reason. If you're trading because you want to become a millionaire overnight, go to a casino. You'll have better luck there. Go gamble. Trading is not for overnight success. Trading is systematic success. The small wins is what makes you rich, what makes you money. You can't come into trading thinking you're going to just, all right, there you go. I know there's a lot of guys online, saying, oh, make money overnight. Don't fall for that shit. And any professional trader will tell you exactly the same thing. If you're coming into trading and the mindset you want to get rich overnight, don't. Go gamble. You'll have more luck. But anyway. Okay, so The reason I also did put a sell in here is because I got some confluences on this side. Now you do see that there is some spikes to the downside. Whenever you do see nice spikes in the market, remember this is on a daily time frame, so these are quite big spikes. You know it leaves a gap. It's called a gap. So you know that that gap needs to be filled. As you can see there is a nice long candle, the gap was filled. There is a nice long candle, the gap was filled. Here is a nice downward spiral. It didn't come all the way up to fill this gap, so I didn't want to put a sell in there yet because I know it needs to fill this gap here. It needs to fill this gap. So the market came up, filled the gap, plus I had my eye on the dollar as well, so I know that the dollar needed to come down to that level of resistance, now turn support. So I waited for it to come in here. I did see some rejection. Now remember, these are daily candles, so I've been waiting for this for the last week already to start showing, okay, I do have sellers here. I do have a little bit of a volume bar on the right hand side here just to see the volume, because I trade with volume and then what's happening on the charts. So support, resistance and volumes. So I do see that there's a nice little spike in volume over here, which means that there are sellers that have climbed into the market, which gives me more confidence that, all right, it is a sell. Today's date is, of course, the 28th, 2024. Okay, remember I'm in South Africa, so this is South African time. So I put this trade in. Now we'll see how far it goes down to the downside, or if it breaks to the upside. Okay, so that's the Euro USD. My prediction is that it might come right back down to this level over here, where all of these actions are happening. Let me just move that stop loss just a little bit higher. I don't need it to be on that. So this is where my stop loss will be. Now let's move over to the pound USD. Now pound USD is exactly almost the same as the Euro USD. So there's just a slight little change in how the pound reacts to the US dollar, but it's almost the same. It's inverse. So now if you look at the pound USD, I'm gonna jump right into this. We do see that we are at a daily trend line. So this daily trend line, let's reverse out, and I'm on the daily chart here. As you can see, you do see that there is a lot of touches on this trend line. So I do know that this trend line likes to be respected. Plus I do know that this trend line likes to make little fake outs. As you can see there's a little fake out over there, there's a little fake out over there. So what I'm waiting for is basically the same that happens there. If you look at this piece over here, there's a little piece right over there, and then there's a little piece right over there. That's basically the same. So I'm looking for a nice downward movement to this next level of support. So I do see that this is a support level where there is a lot of interest. So I will put my take profit right above it, just above that level of support over there. My stop loss, because I work with small lots, is above all this mess. You want to have a wide stop. That's why I trade with smaller lots, so you can have a wide stop. That's where most of the traders lose their money, is having their stop losses too tight. You have to remember that markets look for opportunities. Big boys, the institutional traders, the banks and so forth, they look for where they can grab liquidity, where they can grab money. So if they see a spot like this, I'm just going to make a little thing there. If they see, ooh, look at that. Look at that. There's a lot of stop losses. So a lot of stop losses will be just above this level there. They know it. So if they need money in the market, they will push this right up, grab that money. Everyone that's got a sell order in here, because a lot of people have got sell orders in here and have put their sells in there with their stop losses just right above there. So what these institutional traders will do is they will buy, push the market up, grab that liquidity, grab everyone's stop losses, all the daily traders like me and you, grab our money and then push to the downside. So you have to be careful when you trade. Make sure that you have wide stops. Trade smaller lots so you've got wide stops, so that you don't get caught up with the people that have got tight stop losses and lose their money. Because I know, you can see that the market is going to make a downward movement. You can see it, but when, you don't know. How, you don't know. So just be prepared when you do trade. Make wide stops. Don't make tight stops. That's where most of the people lose their money. Big institutional traders, they don't have stop losses. They don't put a stop loss. They don't. They just don't. They know which direction the market is going to go. They don't know when, but they know the market is going to go that direction. So they sell at a premium and buy low. They buy low, sell high. That's how the market works. Okay. So just as a word of advice for the new traders, and this is the best way for me to trade and for people that still work to trade, because you can see the markets on a daily time frame. You can make your estimates, you can put in your trades, and you can see, okay, this is what's going to happen. Now with this trade, I put it in actually a while ago when I saw that the price broke through this level of support over here. It did a retest, so I did put my trade in there as a sell with a wide stop. So this is what I did. This is also what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 days ago. So 12 trading days, which is Monday to Friday. So it's more than 2 weeks ago that I put this trade in. It is a sell. I've got a wide stop, so it's going to go. I can see that the market is on the downward side. It's making a nice crown over here, so which gives me more confidence it's going to go down. And looking at the US dollar gives me ample amount of confidence is that the market will go down. So that's the pound USD. I'm looking for a break to the downside, right back down to all these levels of support, to this level of support here, because I can see this is an interesting level right over there. I'm just going to move my to there. You can see that there is a lot of working on this area here. So I can kind of think that, all right, this is where the market's going to go. So I'll put my stop loss, my take profit right in there. Okay. Let's get to the gold. Gold is interesting at the moment. I just want to tell you guys that gold is very interesting. Alright, so for the gold, I'm on the daily time frame here. What I want to do is show you guys quickly on the daily time frame what we are up against on the gold. The gold, I did put a sell in, but a very short sell. A very, very short sell that I've got in on the gold, because I've got a slight suspicion that it might break to the upside. The bulls want to see a break of this 2068 level. They want to see a 2200 gold market. You can see they've been knocking on this 2000 for a while, since, let me just grab this one, since 2020. This spike, the bulls have tried to break the 2000 barrier. They couldn't break it, went down, the sellers climbed in, and in 2022 the bulls tried again to break the 2000 barrier, $2,000 barrier on the gold. They didn't come right, they weren't enough, so of course broke down to the downside. And then back in 2023, so you can see how interesting. I just want to show you something that's very interesting on the gold, and why I think it might break to the upside. We might see a good buy on the gold. Now this is not a premium level, this is actually a high level, so people are reluctant to buy on such a high price. They will rather sell when gold is high and buy when gold is low. But the reason I think we're going to see a buy very shortly, within the next couple of months, is if this price breaks through this 2000 barrier and stays above the 2000 barrier, stays above here, then we've got a new leaf on the gold. So now the gold is not in the 1000 mark anymore. Now gold is in the 2000 range. So now we need to see 2100, 2300, 2500, and potentially 3000, which will probably happen in the next year or two, all depending. But that's if they can break this 2000 barrier, and the bulls have been trying. The bulls have really been trying. But the reason I say that we might see this sooner is that you can see the bulls have been trying more and more and more. It's getting more rapid that they're hitting this 2000 mark. The first mark was in 2020. The second one was in 2022. So 2 years later, the bulls hit the 2000 mark again and tried to break that barrier. They couldn't. So from 2020, 2022, look at this, 2023. So not even a year later, they hit the 2000 barrier again. So they went from taking 2 years to hit it to 1 year to hit it. And you can see it's getting shorter. So this is not even a year later, and we at the 2000 mark again. So it's getting more frequent that the bulls are hitting the 2000. So they're working that 2000 mark. They want to break the 2000 barrier. They want to. So I would keep my eye on the gold here. I'm reluctant to put in any buys or sell. I did put in a small sell. Reason being, I do think that it might take another stab at it. It might take another down and then hit it to the upside again. Let's see why I say this. I'm just going to come right in. Remember, this is a daily time frame. So I'm just going to go right down to the 8-hour time frame. So I like my 8-hour time frame and my daily time frame. That's how I do my trades. Alright, so what we can see on the 8-hour time frame is we can see lower lows, lower lows, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. So I do see that we are on a bit of a downside. So hopefully, I did put a trade in, I think it was there. Yes, I did put my trade in there when it came back to touch here. I put my trade in, that's my gold, so I'm in a little bit of a profit in the gold. My stop loss is right above there, so it is a wide stop. Right above this level here, because I can see this level is a level that's been tested a couple times. So I want to have my stop right above that. And a little bit more, just in case. If I do see a nice break, because this price might still spike to the upside and then spike down. It's all depending. But as long as we have lower highs, I am in a selling position on the gold. Now, I also do see that I just want to put it there. I want to put my price of interest at the nearest point where there has been a lot of activity. As you can see on this line, there is a lot of activity on this here. A lot of sideways movement, so there's a lot of liquidity right over here. So I've moved my take profit to this area over here, which will give me a take profit of 53 if it hits it, $53. And that's the reason why I am on a sell position. As long as we are on a downtrend on the gold, I'm looking for sells. But in the back of my mind, I do know that the 2000 mark is right above here. Is right above. So if we get a break of the 2000 right over here, if we do see a break and a sustained break above this, I will start looking for buying opportunities, because then I know the bulls have finally broke through the 2000 mark. Alright, let's move on to the next one quick. Alright, so this is the final one for the day, is the Euro Yen. This is also a trade that I'm in at the moment. Reason being, it's at a good level. It's a good level of resistance that it's at. I did put a sell order in. I did put a sell in because it's at a good level. It's at a very stable level. I'm on the daily time frame. Let me just reverse here quickly. This is the Euro Yen. So you can see that we've been on a stable uptrend for the last couple of years. It's been since 2020, been uptrend, up. But we got to a point where the sellers said no more. This is where we draw the line in the sand. So it went for a good downtrend over here. It went to a good down movement over here. I'm trying to speak in a language also that people can understand. So the sellers got in, and I did see big rejection over here. So they did push up again. We at the same level where I know that there are big sellers, because to make a move like that is not going to take a couple of our day traders to do that. This is institutional traders that jumped in and put a sell order in because they do not want price to go above that. I can see that is a very good rejection. So I've got the idea that in this range here there is sellers, and they will not want to let the price go past that. So it's all a fight. It's all a fight between the buyers and the sellers at this stage. So my opinion is, I do think that the sellers are still going to try and push it down, because with this big rejection over here, and remember this is daily, with this big rejection over here, I can definitely see that we've got sellers there, so they might push it down for a second time, or maybe a third time. So that's why I put a sell in here. My stop loss of my take profit is on this level of interest over here. The reason is here is because you can see that there's a lot of sideways movement here, so there's a lot of liquidity over here. So price will always go to where there's liquidity, and I'm sure it will push down to this area over there. That's the euro yen. That's my outlook for the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. If something interesting happen, I will put out another video again and give you guys update. Every time I jump onto the markets and to the charts and I look for stuff, I'll make a video and I'll put it out on the YouTube channel. Share the channel, subscribe, comment down below if you've got any ideas on how to better or how you trade. Put it up there so we can all, as a community, as a collective, trade together, because one mind thinks good, but plenty of minds put together thinks great. So if you're also a day trader, put your comments down below, subscribe, and let's have a chat. Let's trade together and educate each other together, because my style is definitely not the same as your style. What I see, you probably don't see, or what you see, I probably don't see. So if we can look at a situation and we can talk about it together as a group, as a collective, we will definitely trade better. From my side, once a good see you. Have a great week, and I will see you guys again.